Hello, my name's Caffrey. I'm a composer based in Belfast, and I write music that's almost exclusively for acoustic instruments. So solo music, duos, string quartets, song cycles, chamber music of all kinds, right up to orchestral music. And it's this fascination with the mileage that I feel there still is in this most traditional approach to composition. Essentially the exclusive use of acoustic instruments that informs everything that I do. My most recent and epic project is the creation of a portrait CD of my orchestral music with the amazing Ulster Orchestra, which just happens to be on release on the 17th of May. So I'm sure Hard Rain will provide a link somewhere so that you can find that. It's out on Divine Art Records and it's available for pre-order. For Peace Comes Dropping Slow takes its title from W.B. Yeats's most celebrated poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, which many of you will know. It forms the final movement of a larger work called The Terrible Beauty, which also draws on two other Yeats poems, purely for inspiration. It's not these pieces of music are not intended to be literal representations of the poem. So these separate movements were all intended to be standalone works, and they were all premiered separately. But while I was writing them, I always had the overall larger architecture in mind, because I knew they were all closely related pieces. But as I say, they were designed to be performed separately, as this piece will be both in Belfast and in the Berlin concerts. The work exists in two forms. There's the chamber music work, which you'll hear in the concerts, and it also exists in an orchestral arrangement as well. And that, strangely enough, has found its way onto my orchestral album that I mentioned earlier. So again, if you'd like to hear the orchestral version, follow the link. I think if you're listening to For Peace Comes Dropping Slow, you'll hear immediately that it functions formally, almost as a set of variations on the opening theme. And I think the most interesting of which is probably where it breaks down to solo cello, about halfway through the piece. This is a very expressive point in the piece, with the cello kind of digging in with sforzando double stops, and the fragmented phrase kind of rises in each bar until it breaks into a frenzied tremolando. And then it kind of wildly arpeggiates this chord while the rest of the ensemble returns. And shortly after this, the piece breaks into a molto perpetuo figure on the piano, which builds to a kind of climax as well. So you might want to listen out for that too.